Hello, this is hopefully my first successful video. Tried a couple others, they weren't good, so we're going to try it this way. My name's Kim, and I am going to do an acrylic pour. I'll probably do a flip cup is what I'll probably do, a dirty flip cup. Ooh, fuzzies there. So I usually mix up a lot of white, and what it is I use Liquitex Basics. I have titanium white. I use in this. I have lots of colors mixed up. I'm not sure I'm going to use them all, but I've mixed up Hooker's Green Hue. I also took Hooker's Green Hue and mixed it with a little bit of the primary yellow. I also have some primary yellow here. I also made up some of the light green permanent color green and Liquitex Deep Violet. I also mixed that deep violet with some titanium white to get a little lighter shade. I also have light blue violet. I also have it was dioxide purple that I mixed with the white. I have quinacridone magenta, and I have Azurian crimson. So we're going to go ahead. They're all mixed up. They all have a little bit of silicone in them, not a lot, just to see what happens this time. And I mixed my paint. Basically, roughly 1 part paint, 1 part, maybe a little more Floetrol, which has a little silicone in it, and then I put in a drop or 2, depending upon the amount of paint in a cup, silicone additional. So here we go. And I got this canvas, it's black, and I got it because it was on sale. And we're going to go with a little green. I'm going to use a little bit of one of the rosy reds. A little bit of the purple. And I did not stir the silicone in a whole lot. I just did like maybe 2-3 swipes around. Another green. That's the darker green. I'm going to use a little bit of the mixed green, which kind of has a, if you can see it very well or not sure, has a little bit of a olivey green to it, look to it. I'm going to go for the really dark purple. I'm putting a little more white. Oh, and I forgot to mention I have, this is raw sienna, it's mixed up, some raw sienna. Another shade of purple. Light violet purple. Another shade of the purpley pink. Go back to deep purple. Scrape all that in there. Oh, that was good. Really smooth move, Kim. I'm going to use all the purple in there right now. See what that, we'll kind of see what that little trick did. Little oops does for the pour. Currently I'm using Dixie cups. I'll probably change to something else. Where's my, there we go. I recycle my stirs, use them until they really get nasty looking. And we're going to put it like that. We're going to put a little more green back in. This is the green I mixed. You can't see what I'm doing very well. Here we go. You can see a little bit what's going on in the cup though, that's for sure. And I'm going to add some yellow. I have plenty of paint in here, that's for sure. But that's my tendency. When I pour, I usually have plenty of paint. Then I get to play with it afterwards also. Let's see. We're going to add a little bit of this color, which is the light violet hue. And we're going to do a little more of the dark green. Okay. One more drizzle of white on top. Now, shedding, goodness gracious. Okay, so here we go. And I tip mine kind of up off to one corner. Slide it a little bit further forward. And then pull it off. Retaining some because I've got plenty of paint usually, like I said. This is kind of looking nice. I know a lot of people think, oh my, all those colors, but I've really liked my colors. Look at all those cells. Oh, I got a glob in my paint. Let's get that out before we go much further. I guess it wasn't, looked like must have been a bubble. Okay. It doesn't pour off. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to take it off. Oh, what happened to my palette knife? Anyway, I'm going to need it though. I'll get it here in a minute. And it off it goes that corner. Almost. And we're tilting back this way. Not going to be the greatest video. I still got to get a better mount. Let's see if I can tilt you up a little bit more. There we go. That's better. I haven't even torched it, all those cells, and I'm losing what I want to keep. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, let me get my palette knife because I need to help this along a little bit better. Okay, got my palette knife. Nothing like forgetting part of your tools. Don't have a studio. Currently my kitchen is my studio. So I get visitors walking in and out, my dogs and family. I'm going to shift this back a little bit because I'm trying to keep this one section. Here, I'll show you just a second. I'm wanting to try and keep some of this. So, yeah, there we go. Look inside that cup. Can you see? Not much light. It is gorgeous colors in there. get some of this down here to run off. Not off the top, not off here. Just want the corners covered with a pour, not a scoop off the bottom. Don't like this always on the edges. Nice tight. You can hear the drum sound. There we go. So I'm dripping everywhere. There we go. Trying to match up some of the colors that are along the edge here. And I'll torch it in a moment. May not get much more action because there's a lot of cells just developed right off the bat. Okay, I'll finish covering the sides here when I'm done with the torching. I use a really small torch, kind of nice. They're little ones. You've almost got stuff all over my hands, so I get some of it wiped off. More of a little lighter. And I just kind of go along. Not much happening cell-wise, in addition to what I already have here. My white disappeared. That's interesting. Normally the white does not. But I didn't put as much white as I have in some of mine. As the paint's still running off the sides. I really like what's happening here in the center. It's really pretty. I'll take you off the stand, or take the stand, I should just say, and show it to you after I get my hands cleaned here in a minute. Check the other side. Got lots of paint on the bottom here. Like I said, I usually have plenty of paint. It's not a, ooh, hey, this side covered nicely. Lost that pretty, some of that green over here. But there, oh, there is stuff developing as we go along, more and more. Let me grab my, why my hands are waxy real quick. One second. I'll get you closer look. Actually, most of the time I don't do a lot of additives to mine, but sometimes I do. Like afterwards, do some touch-ups, and I think I'm going to do some, and I'll show you what I do here in a few minutes. Stuck the thing in some of the paint. So now that that's done, showing you all that looks like. Anne-Marie does ribbons, and I sort of do that sometimes. Like up in here, I don't really care for this. So instead, tonight, I'm going to pour a little more up here and see what I can get a reaction in this corner. And sometimes I'm happy and sometimes I'm not. But we're going to shift this around a little up in this corner. And we're going to let it drain off the edge. And I'm going to torch that here in a minute. Got some purple, that dark purple coming up over here. It's kind of cool. Yeah, there comes some of the cells. Torching it. So, okay, that kind of took care of that corner. But what I want to do in addition, where's my wipe the little bit of excess paint off my thing. I'm going to draw this down in here so it looks a little more organic, like it came from the pour itself. Because it does sort of look like it's just sitting up there at the moment. Okay, now let's torch it again. See what I get. A little more action. This little torch I tend to hold it a little closer than the other. I haven't ever had a film develop, so I'm not too worried about that. There we go. I am cautious about when I set it down that it doesn't melt anything. Keep this paint up from running off my table. Well, hope you enjoyed, and later on in some of my other videos, I'll show you some of my completed paint pourings. This is, we won't even go into how many probably are totally done, or totally, that I poured and done so far with liquid acrylics. So, have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever you have when you have watched this, and enjoy. Go create.